Hello, 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 and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, Unapologetically Angela. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that your Tuesday was great because mine was amazing. I am, as always, so excited about this month because I am going to be starting this month off talking to, and I don't know if she read my description, but I consider her one of my heroes. We don't talk a lot, but I really love how she's always been the stronger one of her siblings. And she's always been the one who was not afraid to speak her mind. I know I've told her that. Not afraid to speak her mind and, deal with the consequences later. But once you actually hear someone's story and realize where they've come from and how they've developed that sense of personality, you have to give them their level of respect. And Brandy Sargent is one of those people that I have truly, truly over the years grown to respect. And once she had her son, that respect went to a whole nother level because I'm going to say effortlessly she changed her life, but she's going to share really the struggles and the things that she went through, raising a child and still having her life. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, I call her my sister. She's not my sister in law, my sister, Brandy Sargent. Hi.
Hey, Angela. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so happy that you are here. I really, really, and I meant what I said. I know I've said that to you before about you always being the vocal one and not being afraid to speak your mind and then deal with the other people's feelings later. So, and that was even when I was married to your brother. You would pull me to the carpet and be like, so thank you. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah,
How
it's
have you
not
been?
easy. And like you said, it do, when you realize what the reason why the way you are. And it is from our past and how we were raised and things like that. But I did have to change. Like you said, once I had Ernest, all that extra stuff I was doing, I had to cut it out. But I think God put me in that position to have that voice for him. So yeah, if you was in an IEP meeting or something, you'd be like, "Yep, that's Brandy," because
That's
that's what goes down.
Brandy.
And I'm gonna tell them how I feel, what I don't like, and if I don't like them, I let them know you're not doing your job. This is what you get paid for, and what we gonna do.
That's it.
So
That's it. So,
yeah.
for those of you who don't know, that April is the month set aside to acknowledge, learn about, be aware of autism. And so, Brandy has the most amazing, gorgeous son named Ernest. So, Brandy, give just people a little snapshot of where you think you were before you had Ernest, and then let's walk through the Ernest journey.
Oh, I was doing whatever I want. Like I didn't have him until I was 24, and so I was just living life, doing a little this and a little that. And I think I was like, let me tap you on the shoulder. He gave me the son, and then I was still doing whatever. People I don't know, I was doing whatever. And when he gave him, then I would say he was around about 2, and all the kids are like 1 year apart. And so Tamika had Tiana, and Tiana would come over, and she's 9 months younger than Ernest. He'd be like, "Hey, Auntie," and I was like, "Something's not right." So I started taking him to the doctor. But before I had Ernest, I was just carefree, doing whatever I felt like, hanging out, um, drinking, chilling, quitting a job if I felt like it,
Mm, mhm,
all that
mhm.
good stuff. And when I had Ernest, I had to get on some kind of responsibility and be like, it's just not about you anymore. You can't use all your PT in January when you got 12 months. When you got to take this baby to the doctor. So
Mhm.
it was a learning lesson, but I think he set me down for a reason because I wasn't living right. I was doing what I felt like doing, and that's what I said. My voice, even though everybody feel like I'm so vocal and outspoken, and just tell you how I feel. But I think sometimes it's necessary. Like people talk behind your back. I rather just tell you up front so you'll know. Hey, You might not should do that. You might not should say that.
Well, and
And
before,
this how I feel about it. I'm gonna tell you this. You hurt my feelings, and I know it comes from the household I grew up in. We were not allowed to share how we felt. Like what, however we were treated, we just supposed to roll with it. That's a lie. If you deal with it, you move on. And I just feel like once I got grown, I was like, I want to tell, if you hurt my feelings, I want to tell you about it and let you
mm,
know my feelings hurt. Or if
mm,
I don't like it, or if I don't want it, if I like this, whether than what you gave me, I just wanted to tell you about it. So I know for a fact that's where it came from. And then also it's now with Ernest. So I'm his voice because he
mm,
can't speak for himself. He
mm.
can't tell people if they're doing them wrong or they're treating them wrong. But I will.
Yes, you will. Ye Okay, so when you had Ernest, as far as an infant, was he because, I'm a teacher, and I hear people say all the time, "Well, there's a certain age, and they're too young for you to say that they have autism." So, what were you noticing anything during infancy that was different or that was
Oh, he was my first child. I don't know nothing about
well,
raising
I
no
thought maybe
babies. Mm-mm.
being around
Girl,
other
I was
people's
going with the
babies.
flow. I woke up, he was alive. I was happy. It was just it wasn't until, like I said, I knew something was wrong. He cried a lot. Okay, so he cried a lot. So that went back to my past. And I used to be like, Lord, you done gave me the demon child. Please forgive me for whatever I did, because what are you punishing me? And he cried and he cried and cried. But as an infant, no, he was a normal infant. It was when he turned 12 months, he got his 12-month shots. He turned one, he got his 12-month shots, and he ended up with the flu. He was hospitalized for a week. And in between the flu and the shots, Ernest started walking and he stopped talking. He was babbling, he had little words thing, and he was walking. He started walking, I think, at 11 months. But after that, it was like the first week in December. And he started walking, stopped talking. Like he walked. Well, he was sick. So I told him in the hospital, and I told him out of the hospital because he could not walk. So he had to learn how to rewalk. So that started the whole thing. And of course, now I'm still trying to keep him well now because now we were hospitalized for a week. And, I didn't know any better. I was still taking him to daycare like he was right. I get there, he was dehydrated and he had the flu. So they kept him a week. He got everybody sick, all the nurses. They shut down our room. You couldn't come in unless you had on scrubs. They literally locked me in here in a room and we could not go anywhere. So after that, I was just like, okay, I need to pay more attention. It's my first child. I don't know what I'm
Right.
doing. Like, he wake up here alive. Hey, I done made it. So that's pretty much was my motto. But I didn't realize that something real was going on with him until, like I said, when Tiana was talking and Ernest was. And even when I say something to like Tamika and Coco about him crying a lot, they say they don't remember that. But he cried a lot. So when I started getting him tested, around the age of like 2.5, between that age, I took him to TEIS, which is the Tennessee Early Intervention Services, and they test him at Colonial, and then they'll send out um evaluate him and tell you what he needs. So he wasn't diagnosed with autism at that age. He was diagnosed with mental retardation. So yes, that take you to a whole nother level of depression. But I was winging it, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get through this. And so they sent out some therapists. They would come to your house. They'll tell you what they offer like 2 or 3 times a week for 30 minutes, whatever. I really don't remember. But I know that. And one of the therapists that came, she was a therapist for Kingsbury. I never forget. And she gave me all this information that I didn't know anything about. One thing she told me when I was telling her how much, she asked me, was I taking him out? That's what she asked me. Do I take him out, let him socialize, learn how to, you know, go get something to eat and things like that. At that time, I wasn't, because he was crying so much. Anytime you took him inside of a building, he just cried. You stepped outside the door, he stopped. So that's why I was praying, like, Lord, what did I do? Can you help me fix this? And she told me that it wasn't, me and God punishing me. He had a sensory issue. If I took him into a restaurant, he heard phones ringing, forks hitting the plate, people walking, people talking, and he didn't know how to separate that. He didn't know how to cut out the background noise. Okay, well, that makes sense. So I keep him at home, I cook or whatever. He really had a minimal diet at the time. He ate canned corn and oranges. Like,
Wow.
that's all I can get him to eat. So it wasn't like I had to buy a lot of food, and he drank a lot of milk. He drank 2 to 3 gallons of milk a week. So once I learned that, and I would start putting headphones on him. And so when I and so his body starts to learn how to separate the noise. So that's why he wears the headphones now. He's not really as sensitive to noise as he was back then. But I think I trained his mind to recognize the noise. But no, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what was going on. But those therapists really taught me things that I needed to know. And that was before he even started school.
And so when they started teaching you these things, are we still functioning under the mental retardation diagnosis?
He didn't get
Wow.
diagnosed with autism until he was 5. So this, is popular now, but we're talking about 2003, 2004, 2005. It wasn't that popular. So back then, insurance companies wouldn't cover the autism diagnosis. All that you know, that has come later back then. So they wanted you to keep the mental retardation, to keep the services provided because insurance companies, they were not paid for any services under their diagnosis at that time. So when he went to kindergarten, at school. He started school at 3. He went into pre-K, and you get a reeval every 3 years. So that means I guess when he was turning 6, I mean he would got a reeval, and that's when they diagnosed him with autism.
Okay.
So he had autism, developmental delay, speech delay. At that time, he was very active, so he was diagnosed with ADHD, which you see him now, he don't have anything on. But at that time, that was his diagnosis because he literally was active, very active. He was
Wow.
getting in trouble. He had a behavior plan back then.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. So what kindergarten did you put him in? Because I know at this point you're extremely protective.
Hmm.
So where did you have him?
So he did pre-K get well, and kindergarten he went to Holmes Road. And how their classroom set up is they stay in those classes for 3 years. So he did 3 years of pre-K because his birthday is late, so that's why he's staying later. And then he did kindergarten first and second at Holmes Road. So I have to tell you about the schools. A lot of people ask, why you move so much? Well, I never bought a house or anything like that because when people say good schools, and I go back then, but now it's more popular. But back then, people are like, oh, that's a good school. When they relate good school, it's to a typical child,
That's right.
not a special needs child. So I put him in a good school, but the teacher, I'm his voice,
I
and
got you. I
if
got
we don't get along, he not staying. I don't care what you say. Me and the special needs supervisor, I'll call her in a minute. Hey, you need to fix it. Call a meeting. I give you one example. That wasn't his first school. His first school was Rains Haven. He was put in Rains Haven special needs class. Brandy don't know anything. My first special needs child don't know anything about how this go. He was put in a classroom with a teacher who was never there. The assistants did 90% of the work. The lady was always out. Um, Long story short, we ended up in a meeting because I would come and get him. He was potty trained, but at home. So I didn't know if he went to school, if he knew how to go to the potty, things like that. So I would take no pull ups, I'm that mom, pack up everything, food, clothes, whatever he needs. And so I was taking him to therapy. So I would bring him to school once a week. and he would only be missing one pull up per day. So if I took him three for a day, it was, he would only miss the five from that week. So they're not changing his pull up. So I asked them about it, and we ended up in a meeting, IEP meeting with the supervisor, and she she was failing him. She said that because he wouldn't sit down, he couldn't learn. I was like, I didn't go to school for teaching, but I know he could learn standing up because he really never sat down. Like always, he stood up unless he was asleep. By now, Ernest is standing up 24/7. You know, if that worked for him, it worked for him. But she said that she couldn't teach him because he was standing up. So I said, "Oh, so is he being bad? Like, is he running around the room or something?" She was like, "No, he just stands." And she had like lumped him on everything. And I know he's in special needs. I knew he wouldn't be making, straight A's or anything. But you're saying you can't evaluate him, you can't teach him anything. She even went to a point to say that she would sit him in a corner to do puzzles because he loves puzzles. He would memorize. He would look at it and memorize it, pull it out, and just redo it. That's how he does a puzzle. And so she would just sit. She admitted that she would just sit him in the classroom, sit him in the corner, and that's all he did all day was puzzles. Girl, I feel like I gained like 300 pounds. I started sweating. I started coming out of clothes, and the supervisor was like, "Okay, hold on," because she saw it going left. I mean, it was ugly. Okay, and she was like, "We're gonna move him." This was coming up to spring break. And so she's like, okay, he's gonna stay here until spring break. At spring break, he's going to another school. She just took the paperwork, moved it, because she knew you could nothing about that was right. She was lucky probably that I didn't come across the table. So that's how his school experience started. Now was him at 3. That's how his school, and it was just simple stuff that they didn't know. Like I would buy his clothes. I mean, I have a wash machine. He didn't like his he liked long sleeve or short. He doesn't like quarter length at that time. I'm not sure if he even like it now. But when he got ready to eat, they would pull his sleeves up and he would pass out, like hit the floor. So I'm eating lunch with him and I'm like, it's okay to put his sleeve down. She tells me, well, we don't want to get him dirty. I'm his mother. I don't care if they're dirty. Why would you want him laying on the floor hollering and screaming when you could just pull his sleeve down? And so it was just little simple stuff that I was just having problems with that I felt like they should know better. If that's a sensory problem for him, leave it alone. If I say it's okay, if he come to school with stains in his shirt, it's okay. He'll make it. But he didn't. I watched it. It wasn't dirty. So it was just simple stuff. So he got moved to Get Wet. And Get Wet, he had a great teacher. He get there and I went over. I was like, I need to introduce myself. We don't need to have these same problems. And she was like, she'll call me and she's like, Miss Sargent, you told me about him standing up. Yep. He was stood up for the first few weeks. We'd keep the chair behind him. Eventually, while he was doing his work, he'll sit down in the chair. And, next, he's coming in sitting down. You just have to train him on what to do, but you just can't say he can't learn because, he didn't sit down. And then another thing, they were trying to figure out him. He would go to school and say a word. Like, he has words, but he doesn't socialize. So they were teaching him sign language, sending me referrals, telling me where to go. I was like, he has words. No. I had to pull out the phone because he ran around the house singing Blues Clues, Dora, all this. And then they look like, oh, he was only going to school, open his mouth to eat. He wouldn't say one word to the people. So after the IEP, they go in there and tell him, Ernest, use your words. He looked at them like, how you know? Your mama told it. So yeah, they taught him. He was intaking everything and memorizing everything, even the colors and shape. The colors they were, of course, color cards are color cards, and then it'd be red on the red card. And his teacher's like, I think he's memorizing this stuff. So she would write red on a white ended card in black writing, and then he just read them all. She was like, So I'm thinking I'm teaching him, and he knows all this stuff. I was like, yeah. So that's how they knew. Brandon, he learned how to read. He knew how to write. I mean, just stuff that they didn't know they could get out of him because this other teacher said that she couldn't teach him. But he had been intaking all this information. They even went to a point where let him go down to the kindergarten class and teach the class, give him a ruler, and have the kids repeat after him doing the ABCs. Girl, the boy was doing everything, and that was just pre-K. So that's where you had to find the right teacher. So he went to Rains Haven, then he went to Get Well for 3 years, and then he went to Holmes Road. Holmes Road wasn't that good. We made it. Um, yeah, we made it. I
Okay.
actually had to tell the teacher that if she wasn't pregnant, I was gonna slap her, but I came on out of there because I didn't want to go to jail. But we made it out. So you have to find the right teacher to work for your student. Every listen to somebody else that might not it might not work for you, but you have. But I haven't bought a home or anything, so I could just move. If it don't work out, I'm just moving till I can find somewhere else for him.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. But you bought a house, right?
No, who
You
told
still have not.
you? Mm-mm. Who?
Wow.
Mm-mm.
You just live in South Haven.
Olive Branch.
All I knew it was Mississippi.
You
I knew you was far. Wow. Okay.
think
So
it's far? Oh, but when I come out there to y'all, it's not far. But when
yes,
y'all
it
come to
is.
me,
I know that it's a drive. I know that it's a drive. So your first IEP meeting.
that was the first one. I just told you that one.
Oh,
You want to do the
really?
next one? That was the first IEP meeting, the one I soiled up, sweating.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna beat that lady. Yeah, it
yeah.
was
I
kind of cute.
mean,
That was the first one. The next one was good. It was with the new teacher, and we made new goals.
okay.
Again, like I said, because she wanted to fail him on everything, so we had to create new stuff. So all this is new to me. I don't know nothing about creating goals or what I feel like he should be doing because at home I feel like he was doing one thing. And then, like I said, going there, he was just sitting there hanging out. He was chilling. He was just like a free babysitting service for him. He's like, if they ain't gonna make me do it, I'm not gonna volunteer it. So that was like my first experience with um, realizing what he needed to learn because we take it for granted. We know stuff and we take what he needs to know, we take it for granted. So that's why I had to learn so much patience, like stuff that he does or, things that he does is not right. I have to teach him and not get upset about it because I have to remember I have to teach him that kind of stuff. He doesn't know. Let me see what example. I can't even think of anything just like right offhand, but I know one time this was later in life that I would buy garbage bags and you just the ones you just pull out and they already separated. Well, I went cheap and I bought the ones that was, you know, together. He didn't know. He went and got him some scissors. He started cutting the bag because he would take the garbage out like, he would think he doing. He cut the bag. I videoed it because I thought it was cute because he was like, Mom, these bags ain't disconnected, but he didn't come and get me. I come in there, he got the bag laid out on the couch. He got the little scissors. He just cutting away. Now the little thing was right next to it, but he cut it. I said, Ernest, you can't do nothing with that bag. And I showed him. Once you show him, he gets it. But you, I couldn't get mad about it. I thought it was cute. It's funny because simple things that we know, you have to teach him. And once
Wow.
he get it, he has it forever.
Nice.
Hmm.
Nice. How was working in school?
Well, I didn't go back to school till 2015,
Right.
but working was difficult. I almost lost my job, like during the time that he was getting diagnosed and getting him in therapy. I had to go on FMLA, so I would have to take sometimes I would take days off. I ended up having a friend at work who would, because at first my shift was night, so then I could do his therapy in the daytime. Then they switched it, and so I had one friend who would switch days with me every week, so I could still take him to therapy and come home. But if he had an appointment or something that we've been waiting on for months, and I had to take off. I used to have to go without pay. It was hard because, and luckily I stayed at that job for 14 years. And that's why I stayed there though, because it was convenient. It was, it worked for me. Like I said, at first I was in the office. I was in the office for 14 years. I was in the office for like 7 years. Then I ended up coming home and working from home. And that's what made it really more better. And that's probably why I think he is how he is now, because he's so cool and calm, because he didn't have to go to a daycare. And, you just really never know what really was going on. But he's more laid, I feel like he's more cool and laid back because he was coming directly home to me, you know, mom, he get whatever he needs. I just go to work because once he come home, he just gonna watch some movies and chill. Other than needing something to eat, and having Wi-Fi, as long as the Wi-Fi working, he good. So working was hard. You have to find a job, and sometimes you don't have a job. I had my boss when I was in the office. She actually told us one time when they were closing schools, she was like, she just didn't understand why we had to go home to get our kids, why we couldn't just leave them with the neighbor. She said out loud. I'm not sure what neighbor she has. I said, well, you live in $1 million homes. I don't know what my neighbor's doing and not leaving my child with the neighbor. So it's hard. Like, you have to find a job who is understanding to um, having a child with a disability. But I stayed there for 14 years because of that. I went back to school. This is actually why I went back to school because um, parents would ask me questions, like how you doing in Brandy, or we're a doctor or this and that, and some of it like I have this special I don't have a special, it's God. I don't, like I said, he my first disabled. I didn't know nothing. I had to pray for God to lead and guide me through this whole journey because I was lost. And if I went out on my own, I was messing it up. So I was like, Lord, show me the way. I don't know what to do. So I have so many moms asking me questions and what about this and what about that? And so I was like, I was a pharmacy tech for a hospice pharmacy. And I was like, I don't want to read prescriptions the rest of my life. I really want to help other moms with children with disabilities. Like that's what I want to do. So I was actually working from home and because he's nonverbal. I don't have that many friends. A lot of people don't get, you know, he's disabled and we don't chit chat all evening. He don't come home and tell me to gossip at school and things like that. So I was at home, so I was already missing out on the work gossip, and he doesn't talk much. And so I was in a dark place. It was to the point where I was only getting up for work, getting up in time enough to like reach over and cut the computer on for work. And I was just like, I have to get out of this space. And so I went I went to Northwest. Didn't know, what was going to happen. I enrolled in two classes in January 2015 and got accepted, got put in, went to class. I was working nights, 1 to 10. And so I went to school in the morning, passed the class. Like, what? Girl, you could do that. And continued. So I did Northwest from 2015 to May of 2018. And then I started Ole Miss. They have a program, a 2-2 program. You do 2 years at Northwest, 2 years at Ole Miss. So I started Ole Miss August of 18, and I graduated August 2020 with my social work degree and a minor in psychology. So,
Nice, nice,
yeah,
nice, nice. And so that's what you're doing now.
yes,
And
it's
do you?
not actually what I'm doing. COVID happened,
Yeah.
and the special needs community, they're real, sickly. So everything shut down. What I wanted to do was close 2020. So I actually now work with she's a therapist. I work at a drug and alcohol center, counseling the drug and alcohol center. But I am applying for a job. Okay. So most of you need at least 2 years experience. So I'm coming up close on my 2 years. I'm gonna be there. Give me a minute. I'm working on it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the FBI. I am doing social work for her right now,
Wow.
especially with COVID. And this is very convenient because I'm having people getting rental assistance and utility, any because of what's going on. So I'm getting a lot of experience. So anybody hiring, call me.
Okay, so he's now 19.
hmm He graduated. He graduated last year. Walked across the stage. Like his teachers were amazing. They took him to practice. They involved him in everything that he could be involved in. Because I kept him home because of the seizures. In 2018, he started having those seizures, and so he was just hitting the floor like bam, nothing. He wouldn't say, "Mom, I don't feel well." And he was even one point the smoke detector was going off, and he was laughing, and he went from laughing to having a seizure. So he doesn't have like you don't know what may cause them, but he has not had one since October 20. It's 22/20, so he's doing good. So over a year now, maybe 21. Yeah, 21 when he turned 18, the same month he turned 18. So yeah, he's doing good now, but he's on heavy meds. He takes Capra. He takes 1,000 milligrams in the morning, 1,000 in the evening, and he still walks around smiling. I will be under the bed, but he needs it because hey, you want to talk to Angela? He just walked in. Come here, come talk to Angela. He got his PJs on. Come this way. With his come around this way. Yes, good. I'm gonna let you, and then I'm gonna tell you about the other little thing. Come on. There you go.
With that deep voice.
Yes, good. You have to sit down. So hi.
Hey, hey,
You want to
handsome.
speak? Use your device. So when he started having seizures, I got him a evaluated for a speech device because I want him to be able to communicate with other people. Like he'll talk to me and he'll answer yes or no questions. But let's go this back. Hello, Angela. Can you hear it? Did you hear
Hey, Ernest.
it? Yeah. So he has a speech device that he can speak. Oh, it's
Oh,
bright. You can see
so you are.
it. Yeah. And it has like all words and he knows it left and right. But it's to get him to use it. It's the hard part, right? Get his teachers to use it. Let's not talk about that. His speech therapist. So I take him to speech therapy twice a week to a place called Building Blocks in South Haven because his school speech therapist is not really on hand with helping him use his speech device. So he does really well with it. Um, he can speak, he will respond. Look how you looking. You ready to go?
Just tell me
You
how your
ready to
day
go?
was. How was your day, Ernest?
How was your day?
Hi, good.
Well, it's good to see you.
So say bye, Angela. He's gonna type your name in.
Bye, Angela.
She waving. You can go. You see that's that death stare he gives you.
I'm done.
I
I'm
have other
done.
things to do like a YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
messing with
love
his
that.
time. But
I
yeah,
love
I'm
it.
glad he walked in. Actually he's closing the blinds. When he wakes up every morning, he opens the blinds and when the sun sets, he closes it. So you have to cut on the lights.
Gotcha.
But
The last thing I want to talk
yes.
to you about is you were talking about, well, two things actually.
Okay.
Um, I guess the parents and being embarrassed or not wanting to share about their lives and their journey with children with autism. Why do you think that is, Brandy?
I don't know. I don't know. I love to talk about Ernest. People tell me, "All you do is share him, girl. That's my life, and I'm gonna keep on doing it." I don't know. I love doing stuff and hanging out, and I feel like we were already, doing a lot of things. And this go back when he was younger. He was so busy. Like, even if I was broke, I would just take him to the park and let him run around because he was so busy. And I'm gonna tell you about that. Where when he stopped being busy was because I took him to an ENT because he was having some sinus issues. They kept sending him home. His nose was running. I took him to ENT. ENT told me that his tonsils and adenoids were double the size they should have been, and that they need to be removed. So we went to have him removed. He used to bounce. He used to walk and walk. He used to bounce. He bounced in the hospital. He walked out. He was like a different person. It's like it woke him up. And the doctor gave me this article, and the article talked about how a lot of children that's being diagnosed with ADHD, excuse me, being diagnosed with ADHD only need their tonsils and adenoids removed. He said that when he was sleeping at night, because when he was his adenoids are so large, it was cutting off oxygen to his brain. So when he was sleeping at night, his brain thought he was still awake. So it was still going. So then when he was woke, he was sleepy because his brain wasn't resting at night. So that's where he went from the hyperactive Ernest to the what you just saw where he sit down and cross his legs like Carlos and Granddad. So yeah. He's cool. And nobody really believes me. Nobody believes that he was that bad. That boy was bad. Like I went to school one day. He was up on the art teacher's table and she was like, "Oh mom, I'm glad you came." And he just gets down like, "Where you come from?" Like, he won't say nothing, he just look at you, Yeah, he was up there walking across that lady's table. The kid was hollering and laughing, falling out like he was giving a whole show. If you
Wow.
don't get your butt off the table and sit down. But once he had that done, that was around that age that kindergarten or something like that. I think when he had that removed, he's been like a different person ever since. It's like he woke up. Like the stuff he get into after that was just like what normal children do. But before, it was just like he was in a bubble and he only dealt with what was his. He didn't bother anything. He didn't do anything else. But once he had his nose removed, it was like he woke up and realized, man, I've been missing out on all this stuff.
Do
So
you
he's
know if Tamika's kids or Coco's kids had that? Because Tangela's was her tonsils and adenoids were abnormally large as well, and I had
I
to have
don't think so. Though. I don't think nobody's had them removed but Ernest.
wow.
Her, she had hers removed.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
She was having the same issue,
Mm-hmm.
brain just out of
Mm-hmm.
control.
Fog. He was in a fog. It was like he was in a
Yeah,
fog. Yeah, he woke up, and that's when all that learning and all that, and he does really well. If he can get some good sleep and stuff like that, he does really well. But that's when he changed. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going back to the
okay.
I don't know. I love sharing. Oh, I was going to say when he started having the seizures, I just promised him because you just never like to see your child like that. I can't describe. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I just promised him, like, whatever I do, wherever I go, we're gonna do it together. So we've been on a few cruises. We go hang out at the beach. That's what we're gonna do. If you just asked me about buying a house, no, I'm planning on buying a house. I plan on go land on the beach. He can't go to college. He won't probably be getting married or anything. He doesn't really have any friends, so why not go somewhere where we can just chill on the weekend or the evenings? Things. There's nothing around here. We have to travel everywhere we want to go and vacation. So we want to move to a beach, probably Florida. We are moving. I keep saying we want to. We are moving. If COVID hadn't happened, we would already been there. Actually, I think, but we're gonna get settled and give me a good job, and we're going to the beach. So that's what
Yeah.
we're gonna do. And the other thing I want to talk about that people don't know, how much time we get, that people don't know is we do all this making sure they stay alive. But did you know that when they turn 18, we have to get conservatorship of them? We have to pay to go front the judge to say we're going to take care of them. Did you know that?
You have to
Mm-hmm.
pay
Mm-hmm. I have
to
to pay a
go
lawyer,
stand in front of the judge to say that you're going to take care of your son.
basically.
And what happens if a person doesn't do that?
Like if something happens, say that he was more verbal and more social, and something happened and he signed something, and I didn't have guardianship over him, then it could go forward. Like he could, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to pretty much sign to say I'll make decisions for him. I'll take care of his money, things like yeah. A lot, and like you don't get nothing out of it but a piece of paper. I saw one of my friends posted she did it for her girl. She was like, "Yeah, I got it. They didn't give me a lollipop." I said, "I feel home that we just had to pay them to say we're gonna continue to do what we already doing."
That
Yeah, like
is
if I was a bad mom, I can get it, but dang, I'm already taking care of him. I should just be able to sign it over to me. He already mine,
mm,
but you have to do that. Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, yeah, I want to talk. Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that, but he's supposed to have it before they turn 18. But since he can still go to school till he's 21, I'm gonna start working on it now because he's still in school. So, and I'm gonna let him go until um he turns 21, and then that's what like we're gonna be heading out of here
be gone by
because
then.
yeah, it's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go. I took him to Dave and Buster's, like there's nothing in town to do. We don't have he loves the water. He loves he loves peace. Like anything peaceful, he loves that. So that's what we wanna do.
Love that, Brandy. I love that. So talk to me about the need for the village.
Baby, we need a village. Like if anybody watching and you have a friend or a family member with a child with a disability, be that village. Like help them out. And stop saying weird stuff to them like you make it look easy. Well, what else am I supposed to do? I get up just like you every morning. When God give me the breath, I get up, get dressed just like you. So I'm not sure how easy it's supposed to look like. What do I supposed to do? Like a construction guy? When it's a hard job, you like a construction guy and you're all dirty and fingernails black. I'm not sure. I just get up. I do what I think any other mother would do to take care of their child. I don't look at it as a hard job. It's if somebody was mistreating your child, you would say something. Well, I hope. And if your child needs to go to the doctor, you would take him, right? I would hope. And he's having seizures, you would take him. If he likes the beach, you would take him. I'm just doing what I would think any other mother would do. I mean, I hear really weird stuff. I wrote some things down. Yeah, I was like, I don't know I don't know what to do. I don't have an option. I don't think. I don't want to be my mother who just walked
Mm,
away. I don't want to be her. So, and before all of this, I had already said, well, if we broke in the car, we gonna be, he knows I love him. He trusts me enough. He knows if I pull out the suitcase, we're going somewhere fun. Like he went had that suit on. He know he put that suit on. He was going somewhere to dance the other night. Like he already knows. So he trusts me enough to know, oh, she's gonna take care of me, or she's gonna do something with me. And even if it's something that he doesn't know, like when he has to go have those test procedures, I hold his hand and I walk him through it. I would be scared to death too to have to go through some of the things he's gone through. But even after seizure, he wakes up and gives you the thumbs up. And I just be going like, no, you just scared the daylights out of me. Stop. But he wakes up and he gives you the thumbs up like, Mom, I'm okay.
oh
No,
my
you're not. You was just cross-eyed. No, stop, stop. It's hard. It really is. But, do you stay in depression or do you stay in shame? No. He's the cutest thing I ever seen. So I'm gonna show him off. We're gonna take pictures. We're gonna make memories. That's something we don't have like from children. Me, Coco, Tamika, and Carlos. We don't have pictures and things like that. We don't have many memories of our childhood, and so that's why I always like, yes, let's take a picture. Yeah, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna share it because tomorrow is not promised.
That's right.
Tomorrow is not promised. So
That's right.
I'm gonna share and have whatever I can for it. And then another thing, if you have a friend or family, buy them something. Do you know he's 19 and he's never woken up and told me happy birthday. He doesn't know when my birthday is. You know, Valentine, Mother's Day. That's just something I have to accept. Christmas, I never get a Christmas. All the gifts under the tree be his unless I buy myself something. You know, I just think other people should think about that when they have family with children with disabilities. Don't say weird stuff. Help them out and buy them something. You know, I would love it. If I'm doing such a great job, girl, send me a gift. Cause I be feeling buy me something.
Okay.
Get them on my birthday.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you made me think about stuff that honestly, I'm gonna be real. I did not think about. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna be more intentional about
Yeah. Yeah. I
thinking
know a lot
about
of
you.
people don't think about it, and that's why I say unless you lived in this life, you
Yeah.
wouldn't. You don't understand. So that's what I was like, stop saying weird stuff like, oh, you take care of my supposed to take care of him. You know, like I think that's so weird to say to somebody. Because I don't know how to respond. You make it look easy. I don't know how to what I'm supposed to say.
You probably look just like that.
I don't know what to say. But I do think people are so out the loop, and that's why I do like the part of autism awareness, but even after so much awareness that you share, people just still brush it off. They don't they might take it in adults, but they still don't teach their children to not make fun of kids with disabilities. And like it's a lot of work that needs to be done, but it's hard to be able to juggle life and try to share awareness. So I really thank you for having me,
Yeah,
and hopefully we'll
you
be able to
came
get
to me in
more
my
parents
sleep.
on here to share their story too.
Yes, yes, yes. I You came to me and I was like, you have an amazing story. You really do. You really do. I've since Ernest has been here, I mean, we've talked or whatever, but and I don't want to be one of those people that say that you make it look easy, but I believe God has really equipped you.
Hmm.
He
And that's who it
really,
is.
really
I
has.
don't know anything. If something happened tomorrow, I wouldn't know what to do. Just like the seizures. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to tell you what happened. When he had his first seizure, first thing I knew something was wrong. Angela, I grabbed a bag and packed it because I knew we were going to the hospital and I didn't know how long we were going to be there. That's the first thing I thought about. I just packed the bag. Like, I don't know. And it just be God. Like, I'm like, sit here. I kept telling him to sit down. Every time he sat down, he laid down and went to sleep. I was like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So I know he just got out of the bed with me. So I know he slept all night. And I just packed the bag. There was nobody but God. We ended up in the hospital for like 3 days. So it was God. A normal mindset, you would just, run off to the hospital. I packed the bag. Exactly what I did.
Wow. Wow. Well,
So ain't
thank you.
nobody but God. Yeah, he shows me the way, but I asked him to. I don't know what I'm doing. He didn't come with a manual. I don't know I don't know what I'm doing. I just make sure, like had an IUP meeting the other week. I told like I just make sure he alive. He pretty much because he's independent. I'm not sure if y'all know this. He's very independent. If it's something that's if it's regular routine, like he carries a backpack with him, and now it has his teacher meds in it. And I asked Tamika to watch him the other week, and I thought I packed his bag, and he came and got it. And usually he'll unpack it, but I was like, "What's going on?" He put in his seizure medicine. He put in his deodorant, but I had forgot it. So he's very independent. He gives himself a bath. I just go in there and make sure hit the hot spots, the hot spots, and make sure they good. But he'll warm up his own food. Um, if I'll pack his lunch for school, but if I miss something, I know I missed something because the next day he'll go in there and unzip it and look. I'm like, what did I miss yesterday? And he's not gonna come home and tell me, Mom, you left out my cookies. He won't say. But the next day, oh, he gonna check that bag to make sure I don't put it in there. I'm like, my fault. But he's very, he keep up with his stuff. People like, oh, you buy him beats. He take care of them. He gonna put them up. He gonna charge them. He gonna charge his phone. He's very independent. I just need him to talk. I need him to share how he's feeling and what he wants and things like that. So we're working on that. It's a process. I know we probably be doing it for the rest of his life, but I'm here for it.
That's right. What's your favorite snacks, Brandon?
Oh, my favorite snack.
Hmm.
Girl, right now I'm on girl, my health. He the one eats all the pasta, but I the one need to go on a diet. But so right now, no, and you can't buy me nothing sweet. Girl, can't have nothing salty. Yo, I'm straight up. Yes. We'll have to talk about that later. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay. But
I don't know what my
if somebody wanted to send you something or give you
send me
something, what would it
something. I
be?
don't know, girl. I guess some fruit or something. That's the only thing. And that's sweet, right? I can't even eat that. I know. I'm trying to live right. I'm over here juicing, Angela. It's just that bad. So, and
Okay.
it can't even be like juice. I'm over here juicing beets because I need to.
Okay. Okay. So maybe if somebody a gift card so you can buy your
Yes,
beat.
yes. You do me a gift card. If you just watch my baby, y'all don't know how simple it is. Girl, if you just like, girl, I'm gonna take Ernest for a day. Whew.
Okay.
And then and the sad part is when he is gone, like when he was with Tamika, I kept getting up. I was like, it's so quiet in here, cause he not here. Yeah, I don't even. It's bad. I'm just so used to being. Mm-mm. I have to make some plans to do some stuff, cause
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I don't have any plan. I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing unless it's with him. So
Okay. We're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to fix
yes,
it. Well,
I would love
thank
it.
you so much. I appreciate it. I feel like you have opened a window, and I hope that people listening don't just hear you and
Hmm.
not take it in and absorb and really understand
Right.
what your journey has been
Me
like. So
too.
thank you.
Me too.
Thank
I
you.
not share it, and people be like, "You're not telling the truth." I am. I'm telling the truth. It was hard. It's still
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It's still hard, and it's mentally draining. Like, I have my little juice. You know my juice. I brought me some. Yeah, I got my little juice. Remember my juice I gave you.
That thing saved my life.
I get some more. But yes, it is. I just wanted to share because I think people do not understand and they just think that you're just going through life easy and peasy. Yeah, if you saw the back of my head, all my hair is white. It's literally just white. I don't even dye it anymore because hey, it's just gonna grow right back out white. It's coming from the roots white, so you don't need me dyeing it.
Right.
And
Right.
I just stress. I'm just making sure he's okay.
That's right. That's right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Brandy. I love you so much.
You. I love
I
you,
love you so much.
sis.
Yeah. Listen. And now that's the one thing that says I really value, most folks when they divorce or things happen,
Yeah,
people
they
don't even speak or say
what
hello.
that don't have nothing to do with us.
They don't have anything to do with us.
No.
They don't have anything. And that means a
That's
lot to
right.
me.
You have to remember how Carlos talked about that, and my granddaddy literally would go sit in my grandmama's house with her husband. Like we're used to that. Like you ain't do nothing to us.
Yep.
So you'll forever be. You have our nephew, so
All right.
and niece. I hadn't heard from her, but I have to check on her.
Listen, that's another show. So yes, 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 yes. I will be in touch and text me your address.
Okay, I will.
Text me your
Thank you,
address.
Angela. I
Thank you,
really
Brandy.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Happy autism awareness. I have my shirt.
You
It's
do. I
my
love
thumbs up, Ernest D.
yes.
My
And
name. This thing is backwards. I'm not. But that's and Coco gave me these earrings. I have to give her credit. She gave me
yeah,
these earrings a few
yes, I
years
love
ago.
them. I love them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And this is a great way to kick off this month. So thank you.
It is.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Angela.
I'll talk to
Love
you soon.
you.
Let's
All
plan
right.
real talk. Let's plan
Yes.
an outing where we can, all of us get together and just if we just outside kicking it.
hmm I'm
Okay.
down.
So
I'm
let's
coming to the vegan fest. I see y'all done moved it inside. Coco sent me. Coco gave me one of her tickets. That's not it.
the one that's Saturday,
Not this one. This June.
the one in June. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there's
It's
one free and open
inside.
to the public and on Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that. But I supposed to be taking him to a special needs Easter egg hunt.
Oh,
So if we
okay.
make it,
So
if
let's
we
do
leave
that.
out of there in time, we might come downtown.
But yes, yes, the one that's in June is inside, so you're gonna
hmm
like it.
That's why I did my hair. Because I don't know, people had those pretty locks. Remember when you saw me, I had puff.
You
I
did.
came right home and did my hair the same
Did
day.
you really? Lord. Okay. Okay. Well,
Well,
good.
thank you,
Good,
Angela.
good, good.
Love
Thank
you.
you. I
Talk
love
to
you
you
too.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. That was a beautiful conversation. Just to reminisce and just to be in that energy with my sister was really nice. Um, there's nothing like genuine love that you really don't have a choice about. Those of us who have children, typical children, really do take for granted them waking up and being of their sound mind and being able to function on their own and be extremely independent. So for my mothers out there who are taking it one step at a time and raising your child with whatever issue they may have, I salute you. I send you lots of love. And I appreciate Brandy saying, yeah, they want a card. They want to go out. They want a babysitter. But the one thing that she did mention to me was they can really tell your genuine energy. So if you're not going to genuinely give your time, genuinely be of good cheer and good spirit, just go ahead and send a gift card. Send the gift card. Check on them. Happy Mother's Day. Happy birthday. That was very, very informative information that I have to say that I did not really pay attention to. So I'm going to consciously make an effort to make sure that I check on my people, that I know, need it. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Check on your people. Check on your people. Happy Autism Awareness Month. And if you know someone who has an extraordinary story or just an ordinary story about a child, a family member that has autism, please reach out and let me know. I want you to share your story because your stories are beautiful and we need to be made aware. And also, like she said, not just aware, but change your behavior, change your attitude toward the situation. So have a wonderful week, guys. Peace, love, and awareness. I'll see you next Tuesday.